David, we're here again on another Monday morning. We're talking about, shall we say, headlines made on the pitch, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, obviously, contributions on Saturday that led to obviously a defeat, which we were well in the game, and Reece has apologised for being sent off and at the wrong time, to be honest, which was a tough one to take. But we had to deal with it, and he'll learn from it. He's a proud boy, and he's he's a proud man to play for Mansfield. So I'm not going to hold him out to dry, but it certainly did cost us.
What do you make of your discipline record so far this season?
Disappointing, because there's only been one tackle that's been led to that, a mistimed forwards tackle. Players have got to show discipline, and obviously they've not really gone for us. I will say that, but the referee's there to make decisions, and the decisions have gone against us.
11 on 11 for part of that game at least. How do you feel your side matched up against Crawley?
Very well, extremely well. I was very pleased at half time, and I felt we certainly shaded it with possession. They scored a very good goal, and no one can deny that. An excellent strike, but I felt we certainly deserved to be at least level at half time. Possession wise, we were doing very well down the flanks, extremely well. Both our wingers were having good performances, and I felt we were well in the game.
4-1, not a scoreline that reflects maybe the first half performance, but not a scoreline that you want to take forward, no doubt.
No, quite correct, David. That's right, and I feel that you learn from it. You certainly ask your players to be committed, and they were. And when you're having to, I think that really one of the biggest contributions was losing both defenders. And you can't legislate for that. Anybody in their right minds can see that when you lose two pivotal players in your defence, you're going to be vulnerable, especially when you've got the likes of Crawley bringing on Torres and Tubbs, and that certainly doesn't help you.
The words, should I say, used by yourself, used by journalists like myself, as well as fans and players alike, seems to be frustration at the minute. Frustration in the results and frustration in your performances.
Not in performances, results. Certainly, performances have been good. There's been telling factors, and we can't hide from that, David. I like to deal in facts, and ultimately, the facts were on Saturday. We come off frustrated because we were well in the game. At half time, we spoke about going on to win the match, and that's what we felt we could do. We were certainly not overruled by a team that of high flyers, and certainly Steve knew that as well. And I felt that come half time, we were on the ascendancy, and I felt that as the game would have expanded, we would have certainly been contesting it a lot healthier with 11 men. But likewise, going forward, I felt we looked a real threat.
We've spoken about this point as well before, frustration of the Mansfield Town fans, a frustration you share and feel.
Yeah, of course I do. Nobody was more frustrated than myself and my staff. We worked extremely hard last week, setting up against a tough Crawley side, a classy side who have got lots of ammunition. And I felt during the game we were well in it, and as I say, for me, we started very brightly, the tempo was good. And I respect the fans' frustration, of course I do. It's not been easy at all for everybody. But likewise, we're fighting, we're working extremely hard. And I don't think our performances have been badly. Just a slice of luck wouldn't go amiss at the moment.
Do you feel that, or could you maybe see why their patience may be wearing thin? Six without a win, David, in the league.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand that. I mean, life's not a bed of roses, and certainly not a manager's job. It's not always going to be a bed of roses. You have to go through stages, and it's been tough. It's been tough to deal with. We've created a number of chances in games. Certainly, we've had the Forest Green game. The Rushden game away. We've had the better chances in the game. Darlington's 97th minute's gone against us. They're two games that we could have easily come out with at least 4 more points, and we should have done. There's been slight things that have gone against us. But Saturday, 11 men versus 11, we were fine, and I respect the fans. I don't mind that, but anybody with half a brain cell can see that we're down to bare bones on Saturday. With great respect, no one could foresee and legislate the changes that I've had to make during the first half.
I went to a press conference last week at another football club about a managerial change, and I was listening to a chairman who said, "A football manager's greatest asset is his ability to be lucky." Has your luck run out, David?
My luck. I'm not a better man, really, to be fair, Dave. So I don't care about luck. You make your own luck sometimes, and it's not about luck. You go out there and grind results out sometimes, and you need people to be positive. You need people to be strong, determined, and that's something that I have in my mechanism. And it's not about luck at all times. And we fight, and we will fight for every point we can do here.
What's the chairman said to you after the weekend?
Didn't see him on the weekend, but I think the chairman, from my knowledge of him so far, is a football man. He's watched his teams over the years, and certainly anybody with half a brain cell comes out of that game on Saturday knowing that the shape of our side and the quality of opposition would recognise that we were up against it. Having to change your back four twice is beyond acceptable frustration. And with all due respect, it's not my comments that are going to change anything. The chairman knows his football, and he can recognise that. He's a football man.
Torquay on Saturday, break from the league, FA Cup, a welcome relief?
No, not really, because we want to fight for every point there is, David, and with the greatest respect in the world to the FA Cup, it is a change of scene, and we're going up against a strong side who had a very good win. They've got another very good game at Oxford tomorrow night, so we're positive. We want to do well in the Cup. It is a tough game, but but we've got some very good games coming up in the league, and I expect us to be competing on every front.
There will be people who want to use the word crisis to describe your current run of form at the minute. What would you say to them, and how long do you feel that it is before Mansfield Town will be in a crisis situation?
Crisis, we're 8th in the league, David. Well, there's no crisis here, do me a favour.
That's winning 6 though, David.
Yeah, but if you look at it logically, like I spoke to you prior to the weekend, if you look at it logically, mate, we've had some very good performances. We've not played badly. If there's a lack of confidence or a lack of motivation there or a lack of quality, then I will be worried. But there's not. There's no problems here. The boys have been training well. There's been a good togetherness in the camp. All the boys are positive. Yeah, they're hurt. They don't like suffering defeats, and they want people to get behind them. There's nobody fully more behind them than the players and myself and my staff. We work extremely hard, and that's ridiculous.
I was going to bring up the atmosphere in the changing room, because obviously bitterly disappointing result at the weekend. How have the boys reacted so far, in your estimation? Well,
we're down to 10 men. They're playing up against a classy side, and they're down to 10 men. A couple of players are certainly playing out of position. There were tired legs at the end of the game, understandably so, but they put a lot of effort in, and that's all we can ask is 100% commitment and effort from my players, and they've dusted themselves down, and like they have done every time that we've had someone knock us, that they fight back, and that's the characteristics of a good dressing room.
And finally, just in terms of injuries from the weekend, anything to report?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously Paul Connors had to come off after 30 odd minutes, I think it was, which is a massive blow. Last week we had one fit striker. Keegan obviously got through a week's training, which is good. So I didn't really want to put him on so early, but I felt he worked extremely hard. Robert Duffy's had a little bit more training. So again, Luke Medley was unavailable at the weekend for his knee injury. So yeah, we're in that department we're struggling, but we'll dust them down. And one thing I'll say about my players, David, is if you ask them to go out there and work as hard as they can for the football club, they always do that.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Has Paul got a chance for the weekend with his hamstring?
Well, his glutes tightened up. That's again, we can't put that down to anything other than an imbalance, I'd imagine. And obviously, we'll see Harry if we can get it freed up at all. I mean, obviously, it's connected to the back and the hamstring, and we hope that he can recover sooner rather than later, because it's imperative we get all our strikers fit.
Steve Cook.
Steve Cook's back down at Brighton for a couple of days. We really do hope that he gets over his injury. I felt he was having a fantastic game and was making some very, very good contributions. And it was a miss that him having to go off, a real big miss.
What's his problem?
He clashed knees in the first half with I think the boy Hal, and he felt it was too much pain to continue.
So, but there is a chance.
It's a clash rather than a twist, so that's a good thing. So we're hoping that he is fit for the weekend. Yeah.
So are they the only two that you're waiting on really now for the weekend, or is anybody else? Luke Medley.
Luke Medley will train hopefully later in the week. He's got a knee injury, a slight tweak of a ligament. I said Paul Connor. We're hoping to have Duffy and Parker fit. And just have a few niggles really. Other than that, Kevin Sandwith, we hope is good ladies. Well, she's about due to obviously give birth, and we hope that she and the family are okay. And certainly that was a reason for Kevin's omittance from the squad at the weekend.
They expect to have a baby this week, during the week?
I think it's in the next 2 weeks, yeah. So obviously all being well, that she's making good progress with that.